Hi, Larry Coons for Elite Guitarist, and the piece that you heard in this previous clip was a piece by probably one of the most famous of all the American songbook composers, Richard Rodgers, and that piece is entitled Falling in Love with Love. So Richard Rodgers was famous for not only writing for Broadway, but he also had quite a few films that he wrote music for. Probably the most famous being Sound of Music, My Favorite Things. He also wrote My Funny Valentine. So he wrote all these iconic pieces that exist in the American Songbook. So I've done an arrangement of Falling in Love with Love in the key of A because it has a lot of open strings, and it's nice to have access to these open strings when you want some moving harmony on top and you don't have another finger to cover a closed fingering on the bottom. So let's start taking this apart. This is in 3/4, and I've written a lot of these rhythms to sort of have a certain lilt to them, to have a certain push into the bar. So you'll see a lot of ands of threes. So, you know, if you're at this tempo, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ba-da, ge-da. So that little push to the downbeat gives you this nice sense of springing forward and this sense of forward momentum. So, okay, let's look at the first bar here. So we start with this cute little A major 7 chord, which has this basically just the root and the major 7, and then the melody on top. Okay, so open A, G sharp is fingered with the 3rd finger on the 6th fret, 4th string, and then the melody is played as a closed B on the 3rd string at the 4th fret with the 1st finger, and then melodically you just go to the 4th finger for C sharp, and that's on the 3rd string on the 6th fret. So that sounds like this. And you have a little pickup on the and of 3 like I mentioned before, so it's like this metrically. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A lot of syncopation too. Do, da, ge, ga, ga. That's the syncopation after 1. 1, 2, 3, ga, ga. And as legato as possible. All right, so the next chord, I'll give you the chord before even though it exists in bar 1, I want to talk about the chord that falls on the first beat because it has a pickup into that next beat. So this is a B minor 9, and here's the shape. B on the bottom, 2nd fret, 5th string, 2nd finger. D is open, 4th string. A is fingered with a 3rd finger on the 2nd fret. String 3. String 2 has a C sharp on the top, and that is at the 2nd fret, and it's fingered with the 4th finger. All right? So now, to get into that bar, you have to play the and of 3. So I'll play it from the and of, I'll play it from the very first bar so you can hear how it falls metrically. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Hear how that works? So you have this push into the downbeat. Same thing for the next bar, but the next chord here is a C sharp minor 7 with a doubled root in the bass and in the melody. So C sharp is played with the 3rd finger on the 4th fret, 5th string. E is played on the 4th string, 1st finger at the 2nd fret. B is played with the 4th finger on the 4th fret, 3rd string, and then you bar the 2nd fret so you can play the E and C sharp, which is on the 2nd string at the 2nd fret. And it's the same thing with that 3rd bar. Here, feel that pickup into the downbeat. Do da da go da, gi da. Okay, so now that I've talked about that rhythm, I won't emphasize that so much going forward, because we've already seen that that's going to reoccur a lot, and we've kind of already covered that basic rhythm. If there's a new rhythm that comes up, I'll isolate that one and talk about it. All right, so the next chord, again with a pickup, is F sharp 7. And that's fingered at the 2nd fret, and it's a big bar, okay? So F sharp, 6th string with the 1st finger, E, 4th string with the 1st finger, A sharp on the 2nd fret, A sharp at the 3rd fret with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, and then C sharp at the 2nd fret, part of that bar, on the 2nd string, okay? So now melodically, after we play that chord, after the pickup, we have to play these melody notes on the downbeats of 2 and 3, D and E. So we're going to go like that. So basically, you can hold that shape while fingering the D on the 3rd fret with the 3rd finger, and then E with the 4th finger. See how you can sustain that cushion on the bottom? So let's go to the next measure. And don't worry, I'm going to go through this whole piece and play it really slowly so you can get a sense of where all this stuff falls, instead of going through each bar, because each of these bars are so short. So I'm going to go through the whole piece in terms of fingering, and then we'll go back and play it slowly. Okay, the next bar is like this B minor 7, and playing this melody on top. So B, you play with your 1st finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. F sharp is played on the 4th string with your 3rd finger at the 4th fret. A is part of a bar that you set up with the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. So that A is found on the 3rd string with the 1st finger as part of that bar. E, which is the melody, is found at the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and you play that with your 4th finger. And then you catch that B on the 3rd string with your 4th finger on the 4th fret. Okay, so that bar sounds like this. All right, so you try to sustain that cushion, these notes, under that whole melodic motion. Then you repeat the bass. Sometimes just the bass alone is enough to give a piece a sense of motion. All right, so B. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a walk-up. We've done this in other pieces where you do this little chromatic walk-up to the bass, and it really moves it forward in a nice way. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that 1st finger and go up a half step to the 3rd fret, and then to the 4th fret, all on the 5th string. So it's a little triplet walk-up. 1, 2, 3, ba-da-da. 1, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, 1, da-da, 2, 3, da-da-da. All right? 1, 2, 3. All right? So you got on the downbeat, you have the root, and then you have the rest of the chord following. And this is bar 8. Okay? So it's the C sharp half diminished. Here's the shape. C sharp is on the 5th string, 4th fret. You play it with your 1st finger. G is on the 4th string, 5th fret. You play it with your 3rd finger. B is on the 3rd string. You play it with your 2nd finger. E is on the 2nd string. You play it with your 4th finger at the 5th fret. Okay? So the whole walk-up sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. That G, E, and B is syncopated. Do, da, do, da. Remember, it's swung 8th notes. Do, do, da. So it feels like triplets. Da, da, dee. Da, da, dee. Da, da, dee. All right? The next bar has this little walk-up again. Well, it's a starts above, goes beneath, and then comes back up to the note. We're going to do it like this. So there's a little pull-off from the G to the F on the 6th string from the 3rd fret to the 1st fret, and then you come up with your 1st finger. See how that works? All right, this is an F sharp 7, sharp 5. Okay, let's talk about this chord here. So F sharp on the bottom, 6th string, 2nd fret, 1st finger. E, 4th string, 2nd fret, 2nd finger. A sharp, 3rd fret, 3rd string, 3rd finger. D, 3rd fret, 2nd string, 4th finger. Okay, so that whole bar with the pickup sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next chord. We've actually looked at this shape before, but I'm going to reiterate it because it's a little different than the first appearance. So B minor 7, B is on the bottom, that's the 5th string, 1st finger, 2nd fret. F sharp is on the 4th string, and that's the 4th fret with the 3rd finger. A is part of a bar that you set up from the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string. A is on the 3rd string, and it's on the 2nd fret with the 1st finger, part of the bar. And then D is on the 2nd string with the 2nd finger at the 3rd fret. Okay, and then you play the melody, which goes from that D from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret to play that E. See how that works? Again, you have a little pickup with the bass. Then you have that syncopation that I talked about earlier. And then the next chord has another little pickup followed by the chord. And this is an A with an added 2, added 2nd degree over C sharp. So it's an A triad with an added B. Okay, so this fingering is found at the 4th fret. C sharp is played with the 1st finger on the 5th string, 4th fret. A is played at the 7th fret on the 4th string with the 4th finger. B is played at the 4th fret with the 1st finger. It's part of a bar that you set up with the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string. And that's on the 3rd string. E is on the 2nd string, and it's played with the 2nd finger at the 5th fret. So that bar is just little pickup followed by the chord, right? The next bar, same thing, pickup followed by the chord. But that's a D major 9. Okay, so let's look at this chord. Another really nice sounding chord. Okay, so D is found on the 5th string, 5th fret, and you play it with the 2nd finger. F sharp is found on the 4th string, and that's at the 4th fret, and you play it with the 1st finger. C sharp is found at the 6th fret, and you're playing that with the 4th finger on the 3rd string. E is found on the 2nd string, and that's played at the 5th fret with the 3rd finger. So that's the whole shape. Now you have another pickup to the next chord, and this is an E7 with a suspension in the middle. There's a suspension. If I resolved it, it would sound like this, the 4th moving to the 3rd. Hear how it's suspended? That would be the 3rd, but we're going to keep it suspended into the last beat. Okay, let's look at this fingering. Open E on the 6th string. A is on the 4th string, and that's at the 7th fret. It's fingered with the 3rd finger. D is also found at the 7th fret, and that is on the 3rd string and fingered with the 4th finger. E is found at the 5th fret, and that's fingered with the 1st finger on the 2nd string. And then you're going to do this little melodic walk-up. You might have to let go of some parts of the chord. See how I let go of the chord, and the E is sustaining beneath, so it doesn't matter. You can, if you want, if you feel like really challenging yourself, you could hold this bottom until you at least play the F sharp, and then let go of it. So the F sharp is found on the 2nd string on bar 7. All right. Actually, you know what? Let me refinger this. I was. You know, sometimes you get in the heat of the battle and the fingerings change a little bit. Let's refinger this. So we have 2nd finger, third finger and first finger on this, and then you can just grab the F sharp like that. And then we're going to grab this D and G sharp with the first and third finger. All right? This is on beat 3 of measure 13. D is found on the third string, 7th fret with the first finger, third string. G sharp is found on the 2nd string on the 9th fret with the 3rd finger. So that whole bar sounds like this. Changing my fingering on that last chord too, so here's how it should be. See how that works? Okay, the next chord is a chord that I recommend playing with the thumb on the bottom string and following through all the way to the top string, which is the melody. It's a really colorful A major 7 chord. Open A on the bottom. This is bar 14. C sharp on the 11th fret, 4th string with the 3rd finger. F sharp on the 3rd string, 11th fret with the 4th finger. G sharp on the 9th fret, 2nd string with the 1st finger, and then it's a little mini bar with the 1st string with the 1st finger, so that you can also capture the 1st string at the 9th fret. So here's the whole chord. Okay. Now we have another little walk down to the bass, and we're going to do that with the 2nd finger, starting on G sharp and going down to F sharp. Little chromatic motion, right? This is at the 11th fret, 5th string. You go down to the 10th fret and then to the 9th fret. And these are triplets. 1, 2, 3. See how that works? And then the chord shape that you're going to grab here is F sharp minor 7. All right? So this F sharp minor 7 is found at the 9th fret, 5th string, 2nd finger on F sharp. And then A is found at the 7th fret with the 1st finger at the 7th bar, 4th string. E is found on the 3rd string, and that's on the 9th fret, 3rd finger. A is found on the 2nd string at the 10th fret with the 4th finger. So that's the chord shape. That's how that bar sounds. Okay, now here's a little walk down to the bass, just one chromatic pitch. That's the next bar. This is bar 16. So that C is on the upbeat of 3. 1, 2, 3, ba-da. Again, it's jazz phrasing, so it feels like triplets. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, be-da. Okay? Okay, C is found on the 6th string, and this would be the 8th fret, and I recommend playing it with the 2nd finger. And then you go to the 1st finger at the 7th fret and play the B, 6th string, right? And then you bar that whole fret, and you grab the A, D, and F sharp, which are on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Okay, so that whole bar sounds like this with the pickup. 2, 3. Hear the syncopation? Now we have another syncopation going into the last chord of the first section. So you repeat that B, and then you play an open E, and here's your chord. I love this sound of this chord. It's got so much great dissonance that wants to resolve. This is an E13 with a flat 9. Okay, so open E on the bottom. D is on the 5th fret, and that's with your 1st finger. G sharp is on, and that's the 5th string. G sharp's on the 4th string, and that's at the 6th fret with your 2nd finger. C sharp is on the 3rd string, and that's at the 6th fret with your 3rd finger. F natural is on the 2nd string, and that's with your 4th finger at the 6th fret. So that whole bar sounds like this. Okay, so at the end of this next bar, we have another pickup, but we're going to hold that for the next segment because it's really part of the next chord rather than a discussion about that bar. Even though it occurs in that bar, it's really part of the next chord because this whole tune is about playing on the and of a beat and then playing the chord following. All right, so I'll see you in the second segment.